Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you. Another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks. Sampler review series videos I've been doing for a little while now. I go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff. Then, folks, I'm gonna talk about stuff. I'm gonna let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not gonna lie. I sure do hope these are good because they are effectively the rest of my dinner today. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammering on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck. And whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I'm wearing a super cool shirt. And folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight the super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing for you today, folks? What happens to be my Stellar Circuits shirt. One of a few that I have, because I really like the band Stellar Circuits. Oh, you didn't know Stellar Circuits was a band? Well, apparently you don't watch my channel enough. I've brought up Stellar Circuits plenty of times throughout the course of doing this show. I really like Stellar Circuits. They're a band out of North Carolina. Kind of a, for lack of a better term, sort of a progressive metal band. I really love what they do. Like, in terms of bands that I've found within the last few years, they're undeniably one of my favorite bands. Like, usually at least once per year, I find like some new band to like really attach myself to, and like that becomes like that band of that year basically. And Stellar Circuits were that band, a few years ago, and then they're still like I love them. I think they're amazing. I've seen them perform live a number of times. Actually, videos of those performances, they're on the channel, just in case maybe you want to check them out. If nothing else, I'd be more than happy to kind of point you in the right direction as far as their music goes, because I think they're absolutely incredible, and they're extremely good dudes on top of it. But anyway, what am I trying for you today, folks? What are we doing here? Dinner, eh? So yes, I went over there. This is actually review number 3 in a row. I first went over there and did a review of Boom Mountain Dew Citrus Blackberry, but I've already reviewed it. But I was doing it as a comparison against a Boom exclusive Mountain Dew flavor called Mountain Dew Legend, which is also blackberry flavored, that you can only get at Buffalo Wild Wings. And when I go to Buffalo Wild Wings, I like to make use of their buy one, get one free deal that they have on boneless wings on Thursdays. So you go over there, you get some wings, you get double the wings. It also works out really nicely for when I do these reviews because I can go over there and I can just do a couple different flavors, and then I get a couple reviews out of it. I just got through reviewing their Cajun wings, and now I'm on to one of their, more staple normal menu items. Boom! Their Asian Zing. Which, that sounds extremely generic. What does that mean? I don't know, but we're going to find out. So, they look like this. First of all, let's get a thing for a thing. We'll kind of like, ha 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 ha. And, yeah, okay. They already have orange chicken ones. So, maybe like something like General Tso's? But I think maybe do they offer General Tso's? Or maybe I don't know. We'll find out. Yeah, it's kind of like a General Tso's. If they don't already offer a General Tso's, and I don't know, maybe they just didn't want to call it that. Or maybe they do, and my brain is just stupid. That's possible. I've reviewed a lot of stuff, folks. You got to give me a little bit of a break here. I'm like going on close to like 3,000 of these damn sampler platter reviews. But yeah, that is the Asian Zing. Yeah, it's a very sort of general kind of Asian inspired. Mind you, when I say Asian, I mean like American Asian kind of deal. The type of stuff that you would get from probably like your average Chinese food American takeout, style place. It definitely has that vibe. And again, it reminds me of General Tso's, but as the name implies, it has a little bit more of a zing to it. It's got a little extra oomph, gives you a little bit of a tickle of the tongue. I do actually like that. It almost has like a, it almost feels like a mix between like a honey chicken and a, and an orange chicken. Like if you just took those two sauces and kind of mixed them together, I think you get something very similar to this. Because it has a little bit of sweetness to it, has a little bit of heat to it, and then kind of just has like sort of a general overall, again, sort of Asian-y kind of vibe to it. So I get what they're going with it. Okay. The chicken itself, just in case you ever haven't gotten stuff from Buffalo Wild Wings, and mind you, I do this at the time. They just went over there and had the SNL bit with Bill Burr, the Buffalo Wild Wings thing, so go watch that clip. It's a good clip. But no, I actually like this. Like, going back to the chicken. Sorry, I got off track. The chicken itself is fine. It's tender. It's got a little bit of a crunch to the outside. It's not the best chicken, but it's not bad chicken. I want to, it gets the job done, but like the problem is that if I were to compare it to some of like the more local wing places like Fry in Wings or Dak Dak Korean Wings, which are two places that I really love that are local to me, those definitely blow it out of the water in terms of the quality of the chicken and everything. But again, I'm not going to knock them. Like, their stuff is decent enough. But it really is the seasoning that makes it, and yeah, I mean, I get what they're going for with this one. It's a sort of medley of familiar Asianish, again, American Asianish kind of flavors. It's got a little bit of contrast to it. If you watch my show, you know I like contrasting flavors. I also love sweet and heat. So, yeah, I actually can get behind this. Like, they're nicely seasoned. They do kind of fall into that category with Buffalo Wild Wings where, like, they're almost a little bit too much with the sauce. But I'd be willing to give them a little bit of a pass here with this one because it doesn't feel like it's not completely overriding the taste of the chicken. And at the same time, again, because they are so familiar flavors, like, I can kind of go with it. Yeah, I actually think I like these. All right. Well, two questions have to be asked, though. Would I get them again? Would I recommend them? I have to go with yes and yes. I think, for me personally, I came into these, they were a little bit of a throwaway, because when I went to review the Cajun wings, originally I wanted to review the Cajun wings with the other new flavor that they have, which is like a Chipotle maple flavor. But when I did the Chipotle maple review, they messed up my order and they just gave me nothing but Chipotle mayo. Or Chipotle maple, sorry. So when I did this one, I was like, well, I want to use the buy one, get one free thing. I might as well just, get one of the ones off their normal menu. But actually, like, yeah. And honestly, if I'm going off of, one of their other sort of Asian-inspired flavors with orange chicken, I definitely prefer this over their orange chicken. Even though, again, with this one, it really does feel like they just kind of took just a very generic run of Asian-ish flavors, and we're like, Asian Zing. It works. They're not the best wings I've had from Wingstop, but they're nowhere near the worst. And I think overall, I do like, because again, it works to my palate. I like sweet heat. I like a little bit of, contrasting flavors. It's got a little complexity to it. Not a lot, but it's there. And yeah, it does have that familiar vibe to it. Even if it is, again, just a generic kind of knockoff thing, I get what they're going for with it. So I do think I would get these again. If I'm recommending them, I think they do have a little bit of heat to them. Not a lot, but it does build up on the tongue and in the mouth. So, if you're not into spicy, might not be your deal. But I think if you're like me, and, again, if you're very familiar with that sort of American-style Asian takeout sort of deal, mind you, I'm not saying this is as good as that. It's not. But these are all familiar flavors that you're going to be used to. And there's something to be said for that, Even if it is a bit of a hodgepodge, like, it does taste good. It does have a nice familiar flavor to it. So I think I would still recommend it. I think this is one of those flavors where really the only potential barrier to entry would be, again, maybe just, if the spice level. But it's not crazy spicy. And because it does have those familiar flavors, it could be something that you could grab, and I think most people would get along with it. So, 5 things. Ugh, excuse me. Something went down my throat the wrong way. 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your year. Folks, go over there yourselves a truly Asian tastic rest of your life. I mean, again, Asian. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do it all the time, I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back. Try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives. Hopefully, do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, what's your personal favorite, Asian dish? Again, whether it's sort of a, American-style takeout or maybe something more authentic, And again, Asian that's a whole region full of wildly different things. It's just, but, because, for me, obviously, if you watch the show, I'm definitely a big fan of, pretty much every variety of Asian food that I've ever tried. I love Chinese food. I love, Japanese food, Thai food, Vietnamese food, Korean food, Lao food. Where else have I hit? I know there's been other places, but, so I love that general region's cuisine. But then at the same time, I like pretty much all food. I'm this guy, so not big on pickles, though. But anyway, let me know. Bye.